Hey everybody, so guess what? I got myself a Nintendo Wii U in 2022. And sorry if it's a little generic that the B-roll that we're going to be seeing is Wind Waker HD, but it was the game that came with the bundle, and it was definitely one of the deciding factors that made me want to purchase this bundle of games with the Nintendo Wii U I found on eBay. So I'm just going to get right into it and just break it down into three parts as to why I bought a Nintendo Wii U in 2022 versus all the way back when it came out in 2012. Number one, which was the most important one for me, was that it was the right price at the right time. I think that I got my Nintendo Wii U with the bundle of games that it came with for probably less than under half the cost it would have when it first came out. So I got my Nintendo Wii U with Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, Bayonetta 1 and 2, Wonderful 101, and Mario Kart, which I have already for the Nintendo Switch, but you know what, it was a gamble and that's what I got. And you know what, the good thing is, on the SD with the Nintendo Wii U, I got Star Fox 64, so kind of evens out.
Do a barrel roll!
Woohoo! Then number two, the Nintendo eShop is still around on the Wii U, so I kind of don't want to pay the extra $60 for the Nintendo Switch online so I can play N64 games. I figured I would rather just spend, $5 to $10 on what's remaining on the eShop, and I know it's a little bit limited, but I figured I would just pick a select few games that were more important for me to play, since I already have a few physical copies of the games that I have from my childhood. And not to mention, I think it's just better to own the games rather than just stream them on the Switch. So, personal decision really, but you can disagree with me, that's fine. And then number three, there's still Wii U exclusives that haven't been brought over to the Nintendo Switch. Like, back when they had the Legend of Zelda anniversary, the only thing we got was we got Skyward Sword HD, which was great and all, but that wasn't what I wanted to have on the Switch. I was kind of holding out for Wind Waker and for Twilight Princess. So, the fact that the two games that I really wanted on the Switch were now part of this bundle that I was getting, I figured, you know what, this is the route I want to go with, because who knows how long it's going to take for Nintendo to actually bring those games over. And then, number four, I guess I should have said that there was four. The fourth and most important, I guess, for me was the fact that my Wii has gotten older, and I don't know if it's the lens reader or the motor that's supposed to spin the CD have kind of gotten older and it's not going to the right RPM. I couldn't play some of my classic Wii games, like I have the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection, and then I also have Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which, it's not meant to be played competitively, but I really like the Space Emissary single player, and it's been a long time since I'd even played it, so I get to play my full Nintendo Wii library again. And it kind of justified the purchase from my point of view. And lastly, I have a couple comments about the system. I think the Wii U pad, it's a plus and a minus. Just to point out some of the negative features real quick is that, number one, it dirties easily. The grips kind of feel like it's made for a child. And then when you're especially comparing the Switch and the Wii U pad, when I'm holding the Wii U pad, it feels like I'm kind of holding one of those like leapfrog pads, just based on how light, and it kind of feels cheap, and especially since the screen itself feels like it's kind of this soft rubbery LED. And if you don't have the stylus, which unfortunately that didn't come with my purchase, you can just see how dirt just kind of gets in the corners of the screen and it's tough to clean. Anyways, it's definitely not a deal breaker. But I would say that I think some companies, when they were making games for the Wii U, probably didn't know what to do with the Wii U pad. So, for example, when I'm playing like Bayonetta, I noticed that the game is on the TV, but it's also on the Wii U pad and it's playing at the same time. And it kind of makes this effect where I don't know where I should be looking. So it almost makes me want to like cover up the pad, that way I can just look at the TV screen, because if I see it at the corner of my eyes, I'm going to be looking at both screens at the same time, and it kind of gives you a headache. Whereas, for games that was definitely in mind for using two screens, so for like Wind Waker, I really like that I never have to pause to look at the map or to put any of my items onto X, Y, or the ZR button, or just the R button. It makes traversing everything much simpler, so, you know, that's the great thing about it. But I think there were definitely instances where, you know, it was kind of like a forced gimmick. And, you know, I definitely can understand why companies stare at this and they're like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. The Wii U, it's definitely probably a system that's not meant for everybody. I'm glad it didn't actually kill Nintendo like how Sega lost all their money with Dreamcast, so the fact that Nintendo could recover, hey, that's pretty cool. Anyways, let me know if you got yourself a Nintendo Wii U console recently, and if you think my reasons for getting this system were justified, or if it was a silly expense that I just made out of the blue. I'm kind of curious to hear your comments. Let me know what games are the best to try out on the Wii U that haven't been brought onto the Switch, or even if the experience of playing one game is better on the Wii U compared to playing on the Switch. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And anyway, I'm gonna get back to playing some Wind Waker. So thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I know the format's a little different than how I usually do things, but don't worry. At the end of this month, I'm gonna be doing a nice traditional review of the Stick of Destiny. So stay tuned until then, and I'll see you guys later. My name is BirKey, and see what's in my corner next time.